It's time for another Debt Snowball update. Keep watching to see how our debt payoff journey went in September. Hi and welcome back. I'm Kamika and this is Webbounce Wallet, where I help you create healthy money habits and live a life that you love on your current budget. Today I'll be doing a recap of our debt snowball for the month of September. Overall, the month of September was pretty uneventful. The main things that we spent money on were food and a virtual comedy show that we like to watch every other week. We eat most of our food at home, so we like to keep our grocery budget around $330, and then we also have money to eat out if we choose to do that, and we have $150 in our budget for that. We spent $391 on groceries, so that was a little bit over budget, and then we also spent $144 on eating out. The comedy shows that we like to watch are $15 each, so that's a total of $30 that we spent in September for the comedy show. Other than that, we didn't do much in September, and this is what our months have been looking like since March. So with that being said, let's jump into the Debt Snowball update. I'm going to switch to my iPad and we'll see how the month went. By the way, I'm using the free Debt Snowball Toolkit that you can find on wellbalancedwallet.com. So if you watched our update from August, you'll know that we actually paid off a medical bill that was about $800, and that freed up an extra $100 in our budget to go towards the next debt. So now we're left with our car loan and our home loan. So on our worksheet, you'll see that the snowball that we had for the medical bill was $100. So now that we have paid the medical bill off, that $100 moves down to the car loan. Our minimum payment for the car loan is now $360, since we have the extra $100. The next worksheet that we have is the Debt Snowball Tracker, and so we're going to get into how our month went. Where we left off last month is the car loan, and we owe $4,480.92. We were able to pay the minimum payment, which is now $360, and then I had an extra $6 from one of our categories that was left over. So we paid in total $366.92. And that leaves us with $4,134.36 left on the car loan. So we had a really big month last month because we were using the money that we got from a 3-paycheck month. So this month is going to look a lot smaller because we didn't have the extra paycheck, and it's normal for your debt snowball journey to fluctuate how much you're able to pay each month, as long as you are hitting those minimum balances for each of your debts. So I mentioned last month that we don't pay anything on our collections just yet, and the reason why is because I don't want to restart the statute of limitations on any of the medical bills that we have in collections, and then also I'm not exactly sure how we're going to tackle it. I've seen people say to validate the debt with the collectors. I've seen people say that we should try to settle for a smaller amount. And so I'm just not sure what that looks like just yet, since we're still working on the car loan before we get there. So we're not gonna put anything down on our sheet for the collections, and we will move on to the home loan. So for the home loan, our mortgage is $1,265 per month, and we're not paying anything extra on that yet because we're still working on getting that car loan paid off. So write in our $1,265.64, and that leaves us with a balance of $188,569.96, and that number is huge, but it's okay. We're going to knock it out. All right, so let's move on to our next sheet, which is the debt payoff sheet. So the first one is the medical bill. We're completely done with that one. It's all colored in, filled in. So the next one is the car loan. And as I mentioned, we paid $366, I think it was 92. And since we started, we have paid off 61% of our loan. I'm going to color in the 60% circle. All right, and The next one is the collections, which we're not touching. And then the last one is the home loan. So we'll write in our 12, 65, 64. And we have made about 2% worth of progress on the home loan. So we don't get to color anything in on our sheet. And that's pretty much it. September was actually pretty boring when it came to our finances. So just to recap, we paid off $1,632 of our debt this month, and we still have a pretty big balance and a pretty long way to go. The total amount that we paid wasn't as much as we paid off in August, but we're still making progress, and I think we're still on track for our goal. And just as a reminder, the current goal that we're working on is to pay off the car loan by December 31st of this year, and we still have a little over $4,000 to go, but I think we can do it. Even if it's in the final hour, I think we'll be able to get this car loan paid off and move on to our next debt. So now I want to hear from you. What kind of progress did you make on your debt snowball journey for the month of September? Let us know in the comments so we can all motivate each other to get this debt paid off. That's it for this video. So if you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like and click the link on your screen right now for more Well Balanced Wallet content. See you there.